Hello, everybody. This is WindDrakeHex doing a live commentary for a draft on Hex, DCG, MMO. Definitely wanted to provide some live commentary. I think it's way more illustrative than just writing articles and sharing little blurpy thoughts on forums and stuff. This is like really real action, how things work. So anyway, so we're gonna go through the process. As clearly and concisely as possible. This is a live commentary, so there's going to be hiccups. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. So pick one, Constantina, 3/3 for 2, totally amazing. Troops you control can't be exhausted by opposing cards or effects. That condition doesn't happen a whole lot, but uh, well, tends to be open. This is Swiss, so I know it's kind of the default new player. Big creatures, go fast, that kind of thing. I think Constantina is pretty good on its own. Obviously, removal is better in a vacuum, but I really want to play this card, so I think I'm just going to pick him up. So next, the obvious follow-up pick here would be a 5/3/4 Regisaurus, which is totally amazing. The only reason why I'm a little hesitant is because I absolutely adore robots, dwarfs in this format, and this is a key card for that strategy. You want to pick it now so that if it is open on your right, you're setting singles that it's not open to your left. This is a great card in tons of decks and in the robot dwarf deck. So if you can get this, it's totally sweet. Just anyway, it's not necessarily a signal because it just means more that Sapphire is open because it's good in all sorts of Sapphire decks. Think Troll is really good, almost good enough to jump into Ruby. But I'm gonna be consistent, show a little bit of discipline. I have lost drafts because I just forced robots when I shouldn't. When a better deck was clearly open. So yeah, gonna take Regisaurus, natural second pick. First two picks really solid here. Um, I'm feeling pretty good. Well, again, here's a dilemma. There's been previous drafts where I would have done the robot course and I would have had some decent robot cards, but as you know, so I would have picked the Hornet bot. But as you can see, getting a second pick, and third pick Regisaurus is pretty nuts. I mean, even this card is arguably better um, in its perspective archetype than this card is for robots. Um, Mentor of Oakenridge, 2/1 for 2, which is you want two drops in wild, and um, you get to get more creatures back later, which is I mean, so it's card advantage, kind of times two, which is pretty sweet. We're gonna pick the Regisaurus. We're really happy. We're getting a pretty sweet wild deck so far. Um, yeah, no complaints. Let's look at. So, oh man, this hurts because I'm seeing another really good robot card. So it's clear that robot is open. Seen a couple of these. Not really a signal yet, but that's obviously a great blood card and a great Shinhara card and a pretty good blood wild card too. I mean, it's an all-around role player, 1/1 lethal, just says no to blockers, just really great. If you want to go kind of more Shinhari, spam the board stuff. Blossoming Canopy Brandy's good. This card's good, even if you don't get the Shinhare. It just makes these guys even more bigger and whatever other 3 and 4 drops you have if you get them out early. Kind of a dead card late, but a 2/2 for 2 is something that you really want. You want to curve out in wild. You just want to, you know, dump your hand and swing for 15. I mean, that's kind of the basic philosophy. So I'm gonna cry a little bit that I'm not forcing robots, but I've evolved a bit as a drafter. I just had such great success with robots that I forced it over and over again, succumbed to bias and all that good stuff. Um, this is super late Royal Valkyr. This card is a bomb in my opinion. You can win the game on its own. If you hit the threshold conditions, you can draw a card and kill something. I mean, it just does so much. Way good deal for 6 mana. There's no way I can play it. There's no way I can splash it. 3/4 for 6 flying isn't good enough to splash on its own. You really do need the triple threshold to make this card amazing. Um, Probably looking at feeding the young ones, assuming that I'm gonna have some sort of Shinhair plan with this deck. It is nice to have removal with your wild. It's just a rare effect. Wild normally has to win on just creatures, but being able to get away pesky blockers and things is good. If I don't end up in blood, it's fine. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I already have one Shin Hair, so it's already getting synergistic. God dang it, Electroid. So there's, oh, man, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt really in Pack 3 when there's like Terabots floating by and Hulks going by, but oh man. And Shinhair and Wild is super popular, and Shinhair and Swiss, so I could totally get cut randomly. I could just take this for the 60 plat it's worth. But Conky Bunny does. Now I'm starting to think about my hero power, but give everything +1/+1. Kind of want to spam the board, be proactive early, swing for 15 on turn 6. That's how this deck went. So I'm gonna take the Discipline Plick, take the Blossoming Conky Bunny, cry a little bit inside. Finally a pack that doesn't have awesome robots in it. I can just pick for my deck, and yeah, this is worth a few plat. Something to think about in Swiss. But I do have a card I can play. Manti Ranger is good. When you're thinking about drafting for a hero ability, you got to think of this as typically going to be a 5/3 crush spell shield. That's insane. So there's no reason why I wouldn't play this card. Um, you know, having your concentration of power on turn 4 too is really, really just helps with efficiency and just big broken things you do. It's a great sideboard card. So that may be enough to pick it. I mean, hate drafting, a lot of people would hate draft this card or this card because they're hard to play against, but I think the chances of actually seeing that card versus the value of a card that you actually is going to help you is way better than just hating something out of someone's hand. I mean, the next guy might hate draft this. I mean, so many things could happen, but that card isn't even relevant. So might as well pick something that I could play. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Well, Crackling Bolt. So this is a tough one because Crackling Bolt definitely solidifies blood as being my secondary color. This Willing does that too. This card is just the natural pick for Wild, but um, this card really is good in this archetype. But I'm gonna be disciplined and just take the quality removal because it's removal. It's only one threshold. It's cheap. It's powerful. Its effect is permanent. You gain a charge. So many good things about that card. So this is worth maybe like 100 or 17 plat, 20 plat or something. But this is a fine tool too. It gets bigger over time. I don't have my deck really turns on turn 4. I don't have to have the most proactive 2 drops. This can kind of just do whatever it wants, whether it gets big toughness, whether it gets big attack. It's gonna find a use in my deck. Another Conky Bunny Suite. Yeah, so this is the go wide plan. Base Wild typically doesn't want the sack hero ability, even though I'm not getting those cards anyway. So whoever is in blood is taking that and leaving me the Shin Harry type travel stuff, which is fine because that's the deck I'm drafting. This I will just take a card that's worth something. Probably none of these are worth hate drafting. This would be gone if someone was in mill. That's kind of whatever. I always want to play this card, but it never ends up making it. So card of life, and I might be able to splash white, so it's useful. Yeah, same here. No big picks. It is important to think about these picks. A lot of people just auto pick whatever. Um, every pick counts. So I think in this card, I don't know why I picked that. Just as I said it, I was running out of time. And then I've never seen this cast, but it's probably the card that I'm worried about the most out of those two. And that's just the random pick. Okay. So, not bad so far. Could be better, could be worse. This pick, it is good to have tricks. I definitely don't want to first pick a trick, but this is a good trick, especially in Ruby or in Wild that has some difficulty dealing with flyers. You definitely want a couple of these at some point, and either in your sideboard or your main. We're not super soon here yet to make this an auto include. Tormented Ritualist is just a quality card, even without sacking something and giving it +2/+2. That legendary, he's just can do work on his own. Every time you draw a shard, so or gain a charge. So that's yeah, when you get a charge. Totally sweet. I already have a removal against a charge, so they can pump this guy out. That's pretty good. Probably the best card that I can play. I like Stink Troll, arguably better. It leaves a 1/1 counter. It's more consistent, but no problem taking a Ritualist here. Not a whole lot going on in this pack. Seeing again some really great humans. So whenever someone decides to go human, they're going to be pretty happy. Chances are two people decide to go in humans at the same time, and you get two bad decks. But that's why it's important to signal early in pack one. But anyway, let's see what do we got going on here. As a 5, this card's fine. Card's a little too slow. It is important. It plays more like a sideboard card, so I don't really want to pick it over something that I could main deck. This pack is pretty bad for our purposes. This is the best card in the deck, in my opinion. So we're just gonna go Spirit Oracle. I'd like to see a Rekisaurus or two. I mean, I already have two. I mean, it's super greedy, but I'm not seeing anything else too convincing. It's fine. I mean, if we curve out at 5 with the aggression level of this deck, when it's all said and done, we're gonna be pretty happy. So again, we're seeing great artifact cards. I mean, I think an artifact. I'm not complaining with my deck. It's not a failed yet, but it is possible that if I picked 3, artifacts would have been the best thing to be in. It's too late now. Let's see. Grave Nibbler is pretty good. Probably, I really want to surprise Runt Gang because I'm thinking about going wide with this deck and using the +1/+1 hero. That being said, it doesn't necessarily do anything the turn you play it. Whereas this, something normally dies in 3 turns, so the fact that this guy becomes a 4/4 for a 2 resource investment, pretty powerful. You could also take this guy just to beef on the charge, but you kind of need a quicker charge ability to really abuse that than 5, which is the legendary I'm planning on playing. So I'll take a Grave Nibbler. I could see some arguments for other things. Don't want another Conky Bunny, though we are planning on going wide, so probably time for Surprise Runt Gang. Probably the best card in the pack is Mentor of the Flames, but that ship is sailed. It's not quite powerful enough to splash. So, honorable mention should be Sterling Star Watcher. Maybe a smarter pick just to get something that can stop early flyers, though this deck does race decently, so in that scenario, I just let them attack and attack it myself. And this card might wheel. Definitely undervalued. It's a great card. You need 2/2s for 2 in Wild, but I think I'm going to take Surprise Runt Gang. Yes. Probably another Manthe Ranger, though. Battlecry Warlord. With my Shin Hairs that are going to be buffed, there is a definite scenario where this guy just does work. This says I win. I think this is a more unique effect than this guy or this guy, though Crush is important as a finisher. You want to be swinging for a lot of damage around turn 5 or 6. That extra damage you get from Crush gets you there. But this makes all my worst dudes not be able to be blocked by their worst dudes, so that's kind of cool. I think this is going to be more useful. The fact that he's a 3/2 for 3 on his own is pretty useful. I'm going to happily pick him there. Here we have wow. This card's great. 3/3 for 3. Just totally, my 3 slots are overpowered. My 2 and my 3 are got a potential to just crazy curve out with this deck. So, and he gets a one-shot ability. Really good. I was going to say this card's okay in a pinch. Being able to draw a card. Probably not going to be able to hit that threshold, so never mind. This card's worth some money. Robots is less open, so that makes me feel better. Just on a purely tilt kind of level. Because I love robots. No matter what I play, I want to be in robots. So, but Warrior of Adronicus, very nice. Very nice pickup. Again, humans. Jeez. getting a little ridiculous. You shouldn't see that late. If you see that late, you realize, oh man, I should have been in humans. I would definitely feel that if I didn't have a good deck. Somebody's picking up Brachiosaurus. Makes me sad, but whatever. Wonder if this guy's good. It's mainly a 2/2 for 2. I don't know if we have anything else that tunnels. Not really. I passed the really good one I wanted. But whatever. 2/2s for 2 are fine. We have some Shinhare Matter cards, so I don't like hate drafting. Just, yeah, I can explain more if you want me to. Why hate drafting is a waste. Um, Here, oh, another Nibbler's pretty good. I don't want to load my deck with these guys because they are just 4/4 for 5s a lot of the time. So you can't really count on that ability. Grave Nibbler, on the other hand, is good. I can possibly ramp them out for free with my last pick. Artifacts is still open, making me a little sad. This guy's good in the blood only deck, but the fact that, I mean, my four slots are pretty much being taken up by Rhechosauruses and Manta Rangers. I don't really want to do that. Whereas Grave Nibbler is efficient enough as it is. Great turn to pick up a trick. I have 2 pieces of removal, which I'm going to use to deal with flyers. Otherwise, I would say I pick this card. I mainly want to ignore my opponent's stuff and just build giant attack horses. So Crackling Sprout being able to give a break-even return of 2/2 for 2, but then getting the crush makes this card really excellent. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that. If I get a bunch of ramp, this guy's fine. On his own, people never play this card. I think it's fine. I get it. I get the arguments for it. It's probably right. There's nothing I really want to hate on. I mean, I have some tunneling synergy, but it's not good enough on its own. So I guess I'm gonna hate because no one's gonna play this card. This is the time I could hate. Yeah, I would like to splash this card because it'd be really powerful with all my big things. I may just do that, but I can play 2 of these. It's fine. If it's the only option I have, though I might not. Look at I already have so many playables. I mean, this deck thrives on efficiency, so splashing may not even be worth it, even if it isn't for a solid card. I think if for a bomb, it's still worth it always. I don't need 2 of these. I don't need 3 of these. So now I'm gonna take my splash plan. Maybe sideboard splash. If I'm playing another wild deck, we end up stalling out. That will help me win. I will play 2 of these. Very happy. So far so good. This is Swiss, so we're gonna be able to see this deck do its thing for a few rounds. That's fine. It's my troops reverting, so I'm just gonna be greedy and take money. Help me splash. It's going for about 35 flat right now. That's gonna go up too once these drafts stop. When people stop drafting, set 2 cards. Check out this guy, Unmerciful Tormentor. While you have no cards, this has +3/+3. How about Fringe? I don't even think it's planted and constructed, so I don't even think I need to look it up. It's probably just worth 30 cents. But you do want a rare draft when playing Swiss, because there's just no upside if you win at all. I mean, you could still lose 100 plat entry fee. Let's see, Blood Servant, probably not going to be able to hit triple threshold. This card's underwhelming. We already have good 3s. Call of the Grave could be good. They deal with my giant Rhechosauruss. I could bring it back. But this card's great. Just ramping out big things is how this deck wins. Probably gonna play that. I love both these cards, but not worth splashing quite yet. Really need to splash bombs or removal. It's my philosophy anyway. So I'm gonna happily wait. Let's check you out real quick. Not playing Orc Tribal, so yeah. I think probably call Wheels. Cyber Shard's good. In this deck, we actually have a lot of 4 power stuff. Survival's better. Chaos Key is solid. Should probably just pick that. It's just strictly better than Survival. Wait, it's an artifact, right? interesting that they got passed. I think that's always a good card. In limited, its slowness is negated by the fact that limited can be slow and clunky. So it's a solid card. Honorable mention would be this guy, though not pure shin hair. This guy's pretty amazing in pure shin hair. This will probably wield for when I play the 1 or 2 artifact decks that are probably out there. This will not, but that's okay. Atrophy, good sideboard card, but we're gonna go with Chaos Key. Hopefully this wheels. I think it's alright. Conditional removal versus spot removal. Spot removal is better. Start of your turn, lose 1 health, create a battle hopper and put it into play. Could actually be good. Double threshold means probably not gonna be able to cast it early. It's not as good. This guy does fit somewhat. If I was all 2-drops, this card's fine because you just want to just ramp out stuff and go wide and swing for a bunch. This card is decent. Good effect. I don't really want to take the mana off to do that. My deck doesn't really need that effect that bad. 2/2 for 2 is fine. This guy will have like +1. It's probably fine. This card's amazing. Can't play it. Alright, we'll just go with the card that may make our deck. The card could be good, especially with Crush. Again, I want to stay away from double threshold stuff for minor effects, for conditional effects. We're getting a little more cut. Same thing with this guy. 2/1 flyer for 3 is fine. The fact that he gets to lose a card is pretty good, but when all is said and done, this fits the overall strategy of our deck better. Just being able to make something huge, getting through those last points of damage, winning combat, whatever. So that's the route we're gonna take. I know a lot of you that are new to draft are gonna say, "Well, Corpse Fly is just way better," and you're right. It's just the likelihood that it can be cast is when you want it is low, and the overall strategy of this deck is to just outdevelop your opponent and swing for tons of damage. Though it looks like somebody decided to go into Wild after saying no to Rekosaurus' pack 1. Something pushed them in. Someone on my right got enticed to go into Wild. Unless last 3 packs are really bad, which is possible, but not very likely. Also we could play him. Can't recall the Sockable powers right off the top of my head. This card is actually pretty good. Wait, no, it's not the one that makes Briar Legions. Okay, so never mind, it's not that great. I think I'm just gonna hate this, possibly even splash it. I do have a splash card for it, so Inner Conflict is great. More poop. Create 2 battle hoppers and put them into play. Card's amazing for 1. Possibly better than having. I don't want 3 tricks. 2 is pretty much the max for me. And that's an efficient Sinhair, but this I think it's gonna do more with my hero ability. Probably end up playing it. The other Sinhair with the sack make a 5/5. It's fine and probably gonna have enough sack outlets to make that useful. But he doesn't say crush or anything, so it's not necessarily gonna win me the game. Though it's an honorable mention. Again, I like making lots of things 1/1s and swinging with everything more than I like making one big thing. And being able to curve out, having the top of my curve be 5 right now is a pretty sweet place to be for that strategy. Here I probably will hate something because there's an absence of anything I can play naturally. Nothing's worth the splash. So we're gonna hate the constructed plans Warhulk. And so if I did go robots, this was obviously a pretty strong signal, but at the same time, I didn't see any Terabots, so I don't know. Maybe this could have been an awesome pack, but maybe people did stay away from robots long enough. I don't know. I think my deck's fine. Arguably, if I see a Terabot like this pack, I'll cry. But Anti-Raider, when this enters play, you may revert target troop. I like that it's either side of the board. It's definitely useful. A 4/4 for 5. Most likely going to be a 5/5 for 5. Pretty sweet. Card's really efficient. We got pretty good 3s. Well, let me check. If I need 3s, I should probably pick this card. Yeah, yeah, we're pretty good on 3s. So this card is just pushed, even though it's on the toughness side. I really want a Manthe Ranger. I guess having something that says revert in my deck is gonna be useful. This is what wield. I wish I could play this guy. He's actually pretty sweet. Um, yeah, I guess we're gonna call the grave. Probably more sideboardy. My opponent has a lot of removal or something. Don't really need any more 3s, I don't think, though I may regret that. Well, Call of the Grave. I hate it's only one. Yeah, that's a good card. If it was like 2 or 3, it wouldn't be worth it. But you can use it and play the thing you brought back the same turn because it's so cheap. It's a pretty good card. We're obviously light on removal, and I don't think Survival of the Fittest is coming back. So that sucks. But Entropy, being able to draw a card and do -1, it is overcosted, in my opinion, if you combine both those effects. So we're just gonna take a sideboard card here. Um, Pretty good one. It's a Doomblade for artifacts. Oh, I guess you guys don't know Doomblade. Doomblade is a Magic the Gathering card, which is instant speed, 2 mana, kill anything that's not black, and that's just kind of the standard of like the best removal you can have in limited. If they have something I can't deal with, I think I have enough 2s, so I don't need to fill out. If they have something I just can't deal with, and I need to do it through being able to see their hand, that's kind of good. Sideboard card for sure. Don't like its cost threshold requirement based on my main color chart, my color pie. This is really late. Just gonna hate it, not ask questions. The card's not super amazing. I mean, it is a 5 investment for a 2/2, which isn't really that relevant on turn 5. It's double threshold, which means sometimes you're not gonna be able to cast them, and you know, 2 damage isn't the end all be all. It's great for 2 or 3, but 5, I know you get a body behind, and that is relevant, but Um, this card's not going to do anything. That card nobody wants, but it's probably the best card. And likewise, okay too. So yeah, we had a plan. We followed it. We got there somewhat. Somebody moved into wild when it looked like they weren't, but that's something that happens in all drafts, but a lot in Swiss. People just aren't as familiar with signals and they just don't have as much draft experience to kind of see big picture of like how things are going to end up with picks and how important it is to signal and to respect signals. So you're gonna get some sporadic results in Swiss. I'm playing this Swiss draft because it's what was about to fire. Also, it'd be nice, if I get shard screwed or outplayed or whatever, game one, I can play another so I can get some recording in. So that part's cool. Um, I don't know a really good way to bring these up into my sideboard so I can build a deck. I do need to see everything. I had to change uh, the dimensions to get a decent video without making it too huge file size. So I am playing a smaller screen than I'm used to looking at. So uh, that's okay. Let's do cost, sort by cost, and start from the bottom up and see what it is I want to play. Yeah, this deck's a lot better than I was thinking. Okay, a little annoying. Do I need to play any of these? Nope, I don't think I'm splashing. I don't know if I want this yet. Definitely want one Conky Bunny. Definitely want one Ramper. Want one of these. One of these. I don't know. I may just want a Shin Hair over gets better over time card. If I'm going wide though. This guy does get bigger every turn, and my deck doesn't have to attack with him on turn 2 because I have the power level on turn 4. I'm gonna play both Nibblers. If I am going, you know, wide, things are gonna die. And Nibblers 4/4s for 2 are pretty sweet. This guy's definitely gonna help my base power level a lot. You're amazing. Thank you for being in this deck. Being able to protect. Does it protect against being reverted? I just can't be exhausted, so it's like anti bounce or tappers. Not the best card, but I'm playing her because she's a 3/3 for 3. There's a reason to splash. Okay. Um, Crackling Scout. I'm gonna say no for now. There's a solid 3. There's a solid 3. There's 2 solid 4s. There's 2 solid 4s. There's a solid 5. I guess I'm playing these. Whatever. Do I want a third 5? Yeah, that's fine. We got a little bit of ramp. You. Blood ended up getting pretty cut, but it's 22 and for my 23rd. I don't I don't know if I need the splash yet. Card is pretty sweet. But then I have to include at least 3 diamonds. I have 2 pieces of removal. Oh, I forgot about Chaos Key. The Chaos Key is why I don't need the splash. It's gonna be probably more consistent than the 4 mana splash card or 4 resource splash card. I do need to make a cut, I think, because I want to add some other stuff. Wait, let's see what I can make you. In Spell Shield, which isn't worth it. Make him a 3/3 for 3. It's pretty worth it. Just having lots of things on 3. Yeah, I want 3/3 for 3 in this deck. Absolutely. And yeah, I need 1 second. I want to pause the recording, but I do need to take a leak. 1 second. All right. This is live. This is live commentary. Okay, so let's see. All right, we got plenty of time. Don't need the rush. Let's see. So my curve, playing 2 tricks, right? I want to make sure. I do want to play 2 tricks in this deck. So I want to make sure I get the strategic points hit before I start combing over the curve considerations. So there's 1 trick. There's 2 tricks. 2 good tricks. Now, do I want to play 2 things that ramp out dudes? On 1, I think this card is a lot better than this on 3. So I'm not dependent on going wide. So I would like to keep that effect. This card's irreplaceable. These guys are probably irreplaceable because they're great finishers in this deck, along with these guys. So not touching those. You're annoying and awesome and just going to consistently do damage and get bigger with my hero power. You don't really have a home in this deck necessarily other than being a 4/4. I don't really want to play 2 of you. So these are 2 cuts I can make. 1's totally fine. 2 is getting a little good. Adding some variance to your deck because it costs 5 and 2 it has an additional bonus effect, though it's not that hard to satisfy. So, but anyway, there's other stuff I want to play, like 3/3s for 3. I want way better rather than 4/4s for 5 that could make other things bigger. That's just too slow in this kind of deck. You want to just be doing broken fast things. So with that being said, I have 2 slots now. Makes me pretty happy. What happened to my 3/3 for 3? Did I already put them in the deck? I must have. Let's sort by cost. Again. There you are. Make sure I socketed. Something always important to double check. It's just a feel bad and embarrassing when you forget and your opponent makes fun of you. Yeah, 3 for 3. Exactly what this deck wants. So it gives me one more card. I'm gonna get greedy and splash the removal. But I'm gonna want to play this on 3, so I'm gonna want at least 8 rubies. I want the option of playing this on 3 because typically you want to get a blocker out of the way to just do 4 or 5 damage and just get ahead on the race. I'm gonna want to play this ASAP. I want to play that ASAP. But I think that's it. These guys, I want to play them early, so it's gonna be hard to play 5 or 6 blood shards in this and have all and be able to do those things I want to do. It's gonna be more of a sideboard card. It's not necessary. It is a slight tempo hit. You do get to get something back. Um, I think it's good in the main, but I only really have one slot. So that'd be you. You're a little slow. One Conky Bunny, one Runt. That's wide enough for me. It's enough ramp out tokeny type stuff for me. Though I may just play them anyway. I don't think I need any more. I like my power level basically curving out at 4. I know I've won 5 drops, but um, if I do need the revert, this is like an excellent sideboard card in this deck. Definitely main deckable in my opinion, but if the opponent has lots of ways to mess with my stuff, um, this is going to be a great card. It's going to say, nope, I get that great attacker back, and I just made a great attacker too. Like almost worth main decking. I could definitely play 2 5s. Probably better to have more draws that can push through damage with my Rekasauruses on turn 5, 6, 7, and games get stalled out than to go wide. Um, because I've satisfied the go wide clause with my little shin hair ramp token stuff. So okay, I guess for this iteration, I think this card's gonna be more important in more games than this card is. So I'm just gonna go convince myself. So I have 2 5s, definitely fine. Um, just a quick before we pick our hero power, just quick make sure I didn't miss anything. Some people may think this card's better, and you could be right. To play multiples of. It is a mana sink, and this is a pretty efficiently costed deck. All right, good point. I know I'm talking to myself, but I just convinced myself play 2 of these and then play that as a sideboard card. Okay. If this seems tedious, this is the kind of stuff that makes you better over time. This is how I'm gonna get better by just excruciating my picks and have you guys look at them and say yay or nay and justify why nay and all that kind of stuff. Um, it's to become a new player to an okay player can be a pretty fast process. They're watching videos and practice and stuff. Become an intermediate player to a decent competitive player, it takes a lot more time. It's a lot of excruciating on little things. I still consider myself on the path to becoming a decent competitive player. Not quite there yet. But it comes through just taking an extra minute here, an extra 2 minutes there. Like if you're new and you find yourself timing out a lot, it's a really good sign because you're thinking about plays, you're gaining knowledge, and don't worry about your results because that's just all an investment in better results in the future. Watching videos is a great result. Now's a really good time to get in the hex because the player base is about to explode. They're going to start, once it's fully released, they're going to incentivize, um, kind of professional esque type plays with tournaments and stuff. There's already really good community based stuff that's going to get bigger. Um, it's a good time to start getting your reps in if you want to be, if competition is like your thing. Um, oh, I just realized I have this in mess with my, you can see part of my command prompt. I don't think I'm giving away my IP. All right, that's fine. So yeah, okay. So let's think we're ready. This deck's gonna do okay. There is only one hero power appropriate for wild, in my opinion. What's this guy do? I never even play him. Create a battle hopper. Yeah, it's just too slow. This is just such a powerful effect. You don't see these heroes in set 3 anymore. Champion. That's what it's freaking called. Champion. I've been calling it heroes forever. I don't even like Hearthstone. Yeah, champion. And so yeah, I don't think you'll ever see another champion with this good of an ability created digitally again. And anyway, I've talked way too much. We're good to go. So that's that. That's that. 7 minutes. Save and quit, or save and continue. And I'll see you. Oops, I gotta add land. All right. So this is a 9-7-9-8 split. Don't really need more than 9 in any base anything unless you have triple threshold. And I have ramp, so I have actually 10 sources of wild. And then blood will be 8. I guess I have to check it down there. That's 8, 9, 8. Deck equals 40. Make sure I got my hero there. All right, great. See you in round 1.